To celebrate the release of the Camp Cretaceous Choose Your Own Adventure special, we caught up with showrunner and executive producer Scott Kreamer, who gave us insight into the hidden adventure and revealed some new information about both the interactive special and Camp Cretaceous itself. You can learn more about the hidden adventure by watching some of our other videos, and be sure to subscribe to our channel as we've got some great Camp Cretaceous and Jurassic World content on the way. Huge thanks to Scott and the team at DreamWorks for organizing this interview.
Well, it came into play by Netflix said, hey, do an interactive episode. I'll be honest with you guys. I actually fought it for a while because I talked to a lot of the folks over at DreamWorks who had done them before. And, it's hard on a production, and so I thought I'd be smart and kick it down the road and do it at the end because a lot of them have had to sort of crack open their production schedules and jam it in there. And it's basically the equivalent of 3 episodes. So it takes everyone. It takes all your writers. It took all 3 of our episodic directors and their complete board teams. But what I wasn't thinking, I didn't realize is, so our writing staff was writing this simultaneously with writing the series finale. So that wasn't easy. But like throughout this whole production, our crew and our writers and our artists and our production people, everyone just rose to the occasion. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. I don't think we ever locked it in. We knew we wanted to, at least I knew I wanted to go back to Nublar, because it didn't make sense to set it after the show. And it seemed like it would be a fun thing to go back. I don't know if you can say it's canon. I mean, I guess it's plausible, but because of that, we did want to set it between season 2 and 3, like post Mitch and Tiff, pre the Scorpius Rex, because there was a time jump there and you could plausibly see it happening there. So we wanted to go back to Nublar and, see our old dinosaur friends from there. But also we wanted to see something new. We wanted a new dinosaur. We wanted a part of the island that we hadn't seen before. So that it just sort of went from there. And, I think the whole idea of finding an amusement park was, originally when we started the series, we were going over all the Nublar maps and everything that was at Jurassic World that didn't even make it in the movie. And there was this water park on a map that was there. And originally our episode 6, when they were in the caverns with the glowing Parasaurolophuses, our original concept for that episode was to put it at this water park. And then it was like, oh, we can't pull that off. But the idea always is just resources wise, it was just too big. So the idea of an amusement park or another sort of attraction on the island always kind of stayed with me. And then we just kind of ended up with the hidden adventure. No, it was really just to be cool, when I was a kid, there were the choose your own adventure books where it's like, turn left, go to page 12 and turn right, go to page 37. And so I always loved these things. So it was really just to be cool. We kind of went, the show is always about the characters, but it's like, this is a fun adventure. And, the whole idea behind the show was, you let the viewers, imagine, be transported. Imagine what it would be like to be in the Camp family and with these dinosaurs and fighting the bad guys with your friends. And this is just like the next level up where you're actually making choices. And we really kind of labored to make sure that these choices, had a real effect. Like you try to the best we could to make it feel like you're not on rails. I think we knew we wanted in the third act to make it to this amusement park. And so then it was like, well, what's the most fun we could have along the way? And like I said, it's 3 episodes worth, but that's, it's not as much as you'd think, because, we had a version where you take Bumpy and then Bumpy goes on with you even longer. But now when you're on, like, let's say you go to security or you go down Main Street, well, now that branches off into 4 because you've got Bumpy and there was a lot more I wish we could have done, but we literally just didn't have the footage for. Like there was zip lining and gyrospheres in a river and all this stuff. And at the end of the day, it's like, it's just too big. So, we just said, all right, we've got this footage. What is the coolest, most amount of fun we can have along the way? He's pretty out there. We wanted there to be a mystery. And so then we just I think we just sort of like stumbled upon this idea of like an old Imagineer who was like old friends with John Hammond. And we just kind of went from there. It was just like, all right, almost like an unreliable narrator. Like, can we trust this guy's clues? Do we know where it's going? Should we do it? A lot of this is the different members of the camp fam giving you options and arguments for why you should do one thing or another. So we just wanted to add in a little something more that could maybe make you go, I'm not sure which way I should go. Anything. It's like the show. We didn't want there to be too many clearly right or clearly wrong answers. We kind of wanted to hit those shades of gray and see what happens. Yeah, I mean, we always. I think it was brought up, and then they said, "Nah, we're probably not going to do that." There was a time, I think we even did yeah, you know what it was, and we couldn't pull it off with schedules. It was like in Jurassic World. There was a talk about Claire and Owen's first date. And we played with the idea that when you first found the video, boy, this is taking me back. Yeah, before there was a Brimford, you were going to find this video, and it was like recorded that night of that first date. And through that, you were going to find the clue that there was food hidden there. And then when that looked like it wasn't going to happen, that's when we pivoted to the Brimford character. Yeah, I just thought it was cool. Even with this, I think I probably told you guys before, when we started the series, there's this giant handbook, franchise handbook that Universal has, which now is a Camp Cretaceous section, which is pretty neat. But there's all the dinosaurs that have been established on Nublar, as well as dinosaurs that could plausibly be there. And so we kind of were mining through that because we wanted to do something. And it's a Tarbosaurus, it's a T-Rex relative, and it's a cool dinosaur. And we wanted another kind of big antagonist dinosaur, and that was the coolest one I found. It's a happy coincidence. It's so funny. I was also doing another one of these, and I said, "Oh, so you did that because of the Jurassic roller coaster in Orlando?" And it's like, yeah, probably should have talked to some people. No, this was just like the idea. And again, one of the ideas was, can we put a raptor on the roller coaster with them? And then it was like it morphed into the Tarbo there. So no, and you want to talk about our team just coming together. That set was amazing, and our art team and our DreamWorks Hub team just built this beautiful set. That and the Midway, I just thought came out beautifully. So no, it was a happy coincidence, but it's just like, if we're going cool, dinosaurs and roller coasters, might as well, right? Might as well go for it. Honestly, I wish I could put all the dinosaurs in, but given our limitations where it's like, okay, you can have another dinosaur, but then you don't have any, you can't add, you can't add Dr. Turner. Like, it's a character. So yes, there was a time I wanted to put an Allosaurus in the show. When we went to the Arctic biome on Manticore Island, I really wanted to put a mammoth in the show. That was sort of the whole idea for me about doing that Arctic biome. But, for one reason or another, we just couldn't make it work. So you work with what you got. And so, yeah. So, yeah, there was a time I like, and Allosauruses are super cool. And, like, I loved what Colin did in, like, Battle of Big Rock. So, yeah, we wanted it, but we didn't quite get there. Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, it's entirely possible that we were even considering Allosaurus instead of Tarbosaurus for Hidden Adventure, but this is where we ended up. There were, and the Netflix people were very, they'd done a bunch of things, and one thing I think the smartest thing we did is it's a really smart producer writer named Julius Harper who used to be at Netflix interactive department, and we were able to hire him to write on the show and to really share his expertise. So we learned a lot of do's and don'ts from Netflix and from Julius, as far as, you don't want to necessarily kill someone right off the bat. And I kind of remember someone at DreamWorks saying, well, we're not going to kill anyone, right? And I think I said, no, of course not. We wouldn't never do that. So I don't know if I'm in trouble, but technically we don't actually see it happen. So yeah, it's all a big juggling act, and also trying to figure out, okay, well, let's say you do die, where can you re-engage? You want, if you go down Main Street, it's nice to be able to go, okay, what if I went through the security officers? So that was fun. So yeah, there was and there's also part of it is just you're trying to try something out, and sometimes it's like, well, that doesn't work. But once we also came up with the idea of, okay, if you meet your end, and because some of them are a little jarring, but then you throw Mr. DNA in there kind of as a little palate cleanser, and then are able to go see, all right, what should I have done? And that kind of keeps it moving, because, nobody wants to play a game, we've all played them, where it's like, oh, I got to go back to 45 minutes ago and replay this thing. So I think that the team ended up doing a pretty good job with that as well. There's, these little things, that even if it's just the smallest thing, depending which way to go, depends what kind of binoculars Ben has, or which way you go, or maybe there's just this tiny little thing with Bumpy that you wouldn't have seen if you had done something different. So as far as all the big things, we definitely wanted to give the audience agency to really feel like they're affecting the story, but also just some little fun stuff in there too, where it's like, oh, I don't remember that from the last time, because you want people to do it more than once. Well, I don't think so. You never say never. Who knows? But yeah, that was really, we produced that right at the tail end. Our board teams rolled off the last 3 episodes of Camp Cretaceous and right on to Hidden Adventure. And that was a whole challenge, because certain assets weren't ready, so we couldn't even do it really sequentially. So it's really a testament to the crew and our production team that the whole thing actually came together, because it was a bit unwieldy, and you're at the end of a 52 episode order, everyone's a little bit on fumes, but it all came together.
A big thank you to Scott Kreamer and the team. Have you played The Hidden Adventure? Join the discussion down below.